Praise the Lord, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. Grateful, thankful for this opportunity that the Lord has afforded us to gather together in this virtual space and place to start our day off with another Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up. We let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm grateful and thankful for your presence in this place on today. Excited to lead you inside another Good Morning Grief devotion. Today is day 148. We're going to get this thing straight. We're going to talk about grieving a relationship that wasn't whole. Grieving a relationship that wasn't whole. Grief is complicated. Grief is complicated. You got to remember, it is the natural, normal, necessary response to loss, change, and transition. Sometimes that loss, change, and transition is complicated. Sometimes the relationship was not whole. You will still grieve it, even though other people may not understand it. Other people may question. You may even have questions yourself, but you can grieve a relationship that wasn't whole. Let's talk about it, y'all. Not every loss is clean. Not every relationship was whole. Sometimes we grieve someone we love deeply, but who also hurt us deeply. I think at some point in time, we got to have this conversation, because what happens is a lot of times when somebody dies, we start to paint them perfect, right? We sweep imperfections under the rug and we paint them perfect. And people get up and everybody says all good things at the service, and people want to just remember the good things when the reality was it was complicated. It was complicated, right? Your mother died, but yeah, she abused you. She did this, or she turned her head. There's some stuff that happened in life, and y'all, it was volatile, it was complicated. And people, oh, that's your mother now. But there is but it's complicated. Your father died, who wasn't there, and then he tried to come back in, and it was on again, off again, but it really wasn't. It's complicated. Your spouse dies. Every spouse that dies, it's not like everything was perfect. Oh, I love them so much. You love them now because they gone. And I'm not saying you didn't love them in life, but there was some stuff that happened, right? And then you feel bad for feeling bad, but you feel bad and you trying to process all of this. You feel sad, but you feel bad. And it's like, what do I do with this? It's complicated. If y'all gonna be honest, there are things you've lost, things that transition you went through. It wasn't clean. It was not clean. And you're wrestling with, what do I do with this? Like what did I do with this? Not every loss is clean. Not every relationship was whole. Sometimes we grieve someone we deeply love, but who also hurt us deeply. Maybe they were absent when you needed them. Maybe their words left wounds. Maybe the relationship was marked by inconsistency, dysfunction, or unspoken tension. And now that they're gone, you're left holding a strange mix of sadness, anger, regret, and relief, all tangled together in silence. You got this concoction of all of this stuff. And it's like, how do I handle this? What do I do with this? This is the grief that's hard to explain. It's hard to talk about, hard to process, because how do you mourn someone whose presence brought both comfort and pain? How do I mourn someone whose presence brought both comfort and pain? How how do I do that? How do I go through this? How am I supposed to do this? Right? How am I supposed to do this? How do I mourn someone who brought both comfort and pain? Let's talk about it, y'all. You don't have to pretend the relationship was perfect to grieve. It's ending. You ain't got to pretend it was perfect. And that's what we do. We try to paint it perfect. We try to paint them perfect. We try to paint them perfect because we don't want to. Oh, we feel bad. We sad, but we feel bad. And this is the thing: you ain't got to paint it perfect. You don't have to rewrite the past to feel the loss. That God gives you permission to feel it all. The ache for what was, the sorrow for what wasn't, the hope for healing, even now. God gives you permission to feel it all. If you don't hear nothing else I'm saying, I want you to hear this. God gives you permission to feel it all. You can feel every. That's why I say grief is a natural, normal, necessary response to life change transition, results in the expressions of feelings and emotions, not just good ones. You got permission to feel it all. And I know you can't talk to nobody because you feel crazy. You can't say nothing because they're gonna look at you sideways. Maybe you did try to say something and they tried to check you, this, that, and the other. So you just retreated and suppressed it. No, that's what this platform is for. It's for awareness, education, and action. You got permission to feel it all, right? The ache for what was, the sorrow for what wasn't, right? That it was beautiful. It was this, that, and the other. The ache for what was, you can feel that. You can feel the sorrow for what was. It wasn't this. Like it was, oh my God, it wasn't this. And then also the hope for healing even now. Grief doesn't require perfection, it just requires honesty. Grief doesn't require perfection, it just requires honesty. Grief doesn't require perfection, it just requires honesty. To be honest with yourself and how you feel, right? God can handle your complicated heart. He sees the layers. He sits with you in your sorrow, and he promises to bring peace even in the messiest of goodbyes. God can handle your complicated heart. God can handle your complicated heart. He sees the man. He knows it's messy. He knows it's messy. He sees all of that. He can handle it. He says, bring it to me. He promises to bring peace even in the messiest of goodbyes. Here's your point of application, y'all. If you're grieving someone with whom things were never fully right, say this prayer today. Say, God, help me hold both the love and the hurt. Heal what they couldn't give. Restore what's still broken in me. Let God come for you in this complexity, y'all. He's not confused by your grief. He's compassionate in the midst of it. Today is day 148. I told you we was going to get this thing straight. Grieving a relationship that wasn't whole. Grieving a relationship that wasn't whole. We're going to get into some more challenging topics as it relates to grief. I know we typically play it safe. We play, we do all of that stuff. We play it safe. We're going to get into some more complex, complicated things because there's things that, and a matter of fact, I mean, I love to hear from y'all. What are some areas, some things that aspects of grief that you would like for us to cover, right? You can inbox me, you can drop it, whatever the case may be. But grief can be complicated. And I think sometimes we try to play it safe and keep it safe, and we don't want to deal with the complicatedness of it all. We're going to deal with it. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the Lord. Look, I hope and pray y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm praying for y'all. I'm pulling for y'all. I'm going to see y'all real soon, real soon. Let's go.